It is finally time for a foldable phone. With the Galaxy Z Fold 6, Samsung is trying to make a strong case for jumping on the folding bandwagon. At first glance, this device doesn't look much different than its predecessor, but there is actually a lot of improvements. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 sports a thinner and lighter design than the Galaxy Z Fold 5. You get a slightly bigger and wider cover display that's less claustrophobic than before, and the main display is much brighter at 2600 nits. Samsung is also touting the durability improvements of the Galaxy Z Fold 6, including more robust foldable glass layers, as lots of people are afraid of foldable phones breaking. Then there is all the built-in AI stuff, including a gaggle of Galaxy AI features and easy access to Google Gemini. I had a chance to try out a bunch of these capabilities, including an impressive live interpreter app and a way to turn your S Pen scribbles into art. Unfortunately, Samsung is sharing $100 more for the Z Fold 6 as the phone's starting price has fallen to $1,899 US. So, is the new model worth the price hike? Here is my impression so far, along with early pros and cons for what could be the best foldable phone yet. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 is available for pre-orders now with a July 24 release date. It will be available through wireless carriers as well as retailers like Amazon, Best Buy and Samsung.com. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 starts at $1,899 US for a model with 256 GB of storage and 12 GB of RAM. That's $100 more than the Galaxy Z Fold 5's starting price. The good news is that if you pre-order the Z Fold 6 from Samsung, you can get the next storage tier for the same price. So you can get 512 GB for the price of the 256 GB model. Otherwise, it will cost you $120 to upgrade from to 512 GB and $360 to get to 1 TB. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 is like the Z Fold 5 on Ozempic. It's lost a fair amount of girth and weight. Samsung has trimmed the thickness while also adding to the flagship foldable's overall durability. Measuring 6.04 by 2.68 by 0.48 inches when folded, the Z Fold 6 is shorter, narrower and thinner than the Galaxy Z Fold 5's 6.1 by 2.64 by 0.53 inch frame. And when unfolded, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is 6.04 by 5.22 by 0.22 inches compared to 6.1 by 5.11 by 0.24 inches for the previous fold. I am not saying the bulk is gone, but I'd be much more likely to carry around the Z Fold 6 in my front pocket. The phone will also weigh down your pocket less, as the Z Fold 6 is 8.4 ounces versus 8.9 ounces for the Fold 5. The straight edge design looks sleek, but the corner was a bit uncomfortable in my hand with the phone closed. The Google Pixel Fold is still thinner when open but thicker when closed and notably heavier at 10 ounces, while the OnePlus Open is a smidge thinner than the Z Fold 6 when closed and about the same weight. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 is also made to be tougher than the Galaxy Z Fold 5 with more durable foldable glass layers and better resistance to pressure from poking and the S Pen. There is also Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front and back and an armor aluminum hinge. Samsung made the cover display a bit larger on the Z Fold 6, going from 6.2 to 6.3 inches versus Galaxy Z Fold 5 while making the panel a bit wider. It's not a monumental change, but it's a welcome one, with the resulting screen becoming more comfortable to type on with two hands. You can also run apps on the cover display without everything feeling too squished. Still, the Pixel Fold's front screen is even wider. On the inside, you get a 7.6-inch OLED display that's rated for 2600 nits of peak brightness. That's the same size as before, but a huge boost compared to the 1750 nits on the Z Fold 5. When watching the trailer for Gladiator 2, Pedro Pascal's armor looked gleaming on this panel and the Asphalt 9 racing games was bursting with color. The crease where the display folds is still noticeable, but I pretty much forgot about it while viewing content with a darker background. Both screens are dynamic with a refresh rate of 1 to 120 Hz, so you should expect fluid animations and smooth scrolling. You will not be wowed by the Galaxy Z Fold 6 camera hardware. The only notable change last year's model is that Samsung opted for a new 12-megapixel ultra-wide sensor, which is designed to deliver better low-light performance. I didn't get a chance to check that out during our hands-on, but it captured vibrant and sharp images indoors. You still get a 50-megapixel main wide camera along with a 10-megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom for $1,899. I'd like to see Samsung upgrade that zoom to at least 5x, but at least with the hybrid zoom you can go up to 30x, and the quality is good enough that I could make out text on a book cover from across the room. Even though it's the same 4-megapixel sensor as before, I found that the selfies from the under-display camera through the main screen captured good-looking portraits under good lighting conditions. But you will probably want to opt for 10-megapixel front cover camera. As with previous Z Fold phones, you can use the rear camera selfie mode to leverage the back cameras for snapping images. With a combination of Galaxy AI features and Google Gemini on board, Samsung very much wants to be the king of AI foldables, and some of the features I tried are useful while others are a bit cringe. On the plus side, the Interpreter app makes it pretty easy to have a conversation with someone who speaks another language. Interpreter utilizes both the main display and cover display at once to make the translation experience more seamless. During a quick demo, I was pretty impressed with how quickly the other speakers' phrases were translated into Spanish on the cover screen. There is also a listening mode, which will come in handy for things like lectures. I am also a fan of sketch to image, though you need an optional S Pen for it to work. I drew a crude outline of a tree in the Samsung Notes app, pressed a button, and within a few seconds I had a captivating illustration I could share. It feels like cheating for sure. The Note Assistant feature also comes in handy for auto-formatting and auto-summarizing your notes, as well as transcribing voice recordings. And when it comes to communication, the Samsung keyboard can help you write better emails and social media posts depending on the tone you are going for. The strangest Galaxy Z Fold 6 AI feature, hands down, is Portrait Studio, which can create portrait styles on the fly like cartoons and watercolors. I tried this feature with my own selfie, and the cartoon mode made me look like a character from The Incredibles. It actually looked more like a Tom Brady than me. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 ships with Android 14, and Samsung promises a solid 7 years of software upgrades, which is in line with the Galaxy S24 Ultra and other Samsung flagships. One quirk we and other testers have found since trying the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is that it doesn't ask for a fingerprint scan while you are setting it up. We'll have to wait and see if this is a deliberate or a bug that will get squashed before the official launch. Generally speaking, I am getting bored of phones with iterative upgrades from one generation to the next, but Samsung makes mostly the right moves with the Galaxy Z Fold 6. I appreciate the thinner and lighter design, the wider cover display, and brighter main 7.6-inch screen. I also appreciate the AI features on board the Galaxy Z Fold 6 for productivity and entertainment, even if some feel a bit gimmicky. And while it will take some time to test, the durability improvements are welcome. What I don't like is that Samsung hiked the price on the Z Fold 6 by $100. Granted, $1,799 was already very expensive, but $1,899 puts this phone even more out of reach unless you can get a sweet carrier discount. I would also like Samsung to bundle an S Pen Plus case combo and include faster charging. Stay tuned for my fully rated Galaxy Z Fold 6 review.